We don't need those big cameras. We don't need an EOS R to vlog with. We don't need a 1DX to vlog with. Sony, you almost got it right. You almost got it perfect. But I think camera companies don't want to make cameras perfect. Because if they did, what would come next, right? I'm filming this, and this whole video was shot on the Sony ZV-1, the camera Sony is marketing as a vlogging camera. And it's a great vlogging camera, but it's also much more than that, in my opinion. It's great for YouTube, it's great for interviews, it's great for just capturing life, everyday life, whether you're traveling or you just want to document your day, or again, you aspire to be a YouTuber. The Sony ZV-1 is the camera, and I didn't think I'd be saying this. Actually, I bought this camera with my own money from Best Buy. It's not a review unit, I didn't get it sent to me because I was intrigued by the features. There's so many things about this camera I love. There's only two things I dislike, and I'm gonna tell you all about that here in a minute. But first, I went to the park earlier today to shoot this side by side with my GoPro 8 rig that I really enjoy. So let's go to the park, and then when we come back, I'll tell you what I really love about this camera and also the two things that could have been perfect. All right, so I'm gonna head to the park. Looks like my son is out here. He just bought this old, well, it's not too old, this van. Look at this. What year is this van?
So 1996, even though it looks like an old 80s van.
Doesn't it? I thought it was an 80s when he first pulled up with this. So he bought this. He actually started a YouTube channel. What's your channel name?
It's called Nomad Theory.
Yeah, and he just started it. So I guess you're gonna fix this up as a camper or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna build it out into a little van life van and travel the West Coast and see how it goes. It should be fun. A bright yellow positive vibe bus.
All right, yeah, so check out his channel if you want to keep up with this. He's probably you're gonna do a video as you work on the van?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a whole build series after I get it running pretty well, and we'll go from there.
So if you guys want to see the progress, check out Nomad Theory.
As us nomads sit in isolation, listening to our records, we sip on our coffee and lean back in our chairs. Slowly, we close our eyes and dream of life in a van. Adventures in snowy trees, long drives through winding roads by the sea, road trips through sunken valleys, the feeling of wind blowing through our hair and the sounds of birds chirping in the background. As reality sets in, it's 2020. So we quickly open our eyes and realize that we're staring at a computer screen.
Never had a vehicle this big before, so it feels kind of crazy driving it, but...
Wow. All right. Alright guys, so I'm here today in Saguaro Park in Glendale or Peoria, Arizona. I'm not sure what it's designated as, but I come to this park a couple times a year. Sometimes I film videos here. It's a peaceful, tranquil place. Not busy during the week. A lot of animals here. Peacocks are kind of walking around everywhere. But this is the Sony ZV-1 filming me here. And I am at f1.8, 1/500th of a second, 1080p at 24 frames per second. I'm using the built-in microphones. But this is actually a fantastic camera. Now, the stabilization's a little shaky because I have it in standard mode. We're gonna see how it does with my exposure of the face. I know it takes about 10 seconds, it seems, to get that exposure locked in once you change light, but you could walk around in varying light. And let's say, here we are, full sun, and it's supposed to keep the face exposed pretty well. All right, so now I'm in active mode. Now you could put this on like a long selfie stick and use this mode, and you'd have some, you know, a wider field of view if I was able to have a selfie stick that was a couple feet in length. I'm seeing some people do that in their reviews of this camera. I think that's ridiculous. If you have to use a stick that stretches out a couple feet, you look like a fool walking down the street. And that just means that Sony should have put a wider angle lens on the camera. So this is me using a long selfie stick, a couple feet long. I have the active stabilization on. I look like a fool walking down the street like this, but can you hear me? Does the mic work well? This is the built-in mic, and I'm in full sun again. that's how you can get a wider field of view and use active image stabilization. Feel weird, but actually it's not that bad. It's not that uncomfortable. I might look like a fool, but I don't feel like a fool. If Sony comes out with a Mark II of this, and I'm confident they will next year, I expect them to make a lens, or I would hope that they would make a lens just for this camera, because it deserves it. It deserves something between an 18 and 20 at the wide end. If they can do a 20 to 60, that would be amazing for a vlogging camera. So here you can see the stabilization looks pretty good. I'm walking around now, I'm in full sun. And again, the skin smoothing's on. Does it make me look more handsome? Does it make me look more Hollywood? I doubt it, but in any case, it's a good feature to have. All right, just for the heck of it, I'm walking around this same little path here with the GoPro 8 and the Rode Video Micro. As I transition from shade to sun, what does this look like? It should be doing a pretty good job too. I've never had a problem with GoPro, and GoPro excels when you're in full sun. When you have sun shining on you, that's when the GoPro feels at home, so to speak, because that's when you get those great GoPro colors, that nice look from the GoPro sensor. But what does this look like compared to the Sony if I'm just sitting here talking to the camera? All right, we have the Sony on the left right here. I'm using the built-in microphone. I have my GoPro 8 here. So the GoPro 8 looks like this and sounds like this with a Rode Video Micro. This is the GoPro. As you can see, the image stabilization is pretty sweet. Now we have the Sony. I'm on standard image stabilization. Not quite as sweet, but it looks good nonetheless. All right, GoPro in my left hand, Sony ZV-1 in my right hand. Brutal sun right here hitting me. How are each of these cameras handling this full sunshine? Built-in mic on the Sony. How about the image stabilization? I have it on standard on the Sony because active just makes that lens too long. The ZV-1 does have built-in ND filters, but I did not activate it, and I should have here, as you can see. I was shooting at f1.8. So, as you can see with the GoPro, no issues with stabilization. It's the best I've used. Don't need a gimbal. The Sony, you might need a gimbal, which takes us backwards a little bit. We should be going to gimballess cameras like the GoPro 8. So Sony needs to work on the image stabilization on the ZV-1, and they also need to work on getting a little bit wider field of view. Other than that, it's damn near perfect for vlogging. So looking over that park footage, it's no question the Sony is superior in the footage, the quality of footage over that GoPro 8. And if we go into low light, that GoPro is going to suffer even more. So the Sony is superior in image quality in every way over that GoPro. But we have a 1-inch sensor here, a much bigger sensor. We're allowed to get some shallow depth of field, which is really, really nice. The Sony, it doesn't have a fixed focus lens like the GoPro. It has a 24 to 70 Zeiss, the same lens you'll see on some of the RX100 series models. Super high quality lens, very detailed, great color. Sony improved the color science of the ZV-1, and they say that everyone's skin tones will look good and healthy. And they have a skin smoothing feature, which I have set to on right now. Smooths away blemishes, uneven color in your skin. And you can actually see this work in real time when you first start up. There's a period of about 5 to 6 seconds where it must be calculating the flaws in your skin, and it tries to fix them. I thought it would end up looking mushy, but it actually looks quite nice. It does make you look healthier and brighter than you are in real life. So that's a great feature. The eye autofocus is amazing. It's locked onto this eye right now. The box is floating around, and you'll be able to see it's on my eye. It's on my left eye right there. So we have the skin smoothing, we have the eye autofocus, we also have face priority for exposure. So if you're out in changing light, and no camera does this that I know of besides this right here, if you're out in changing light, it will always keep the perfect exposure on your face. So if you're strongly backlit, you know how most cameras will darken your face and you won't look very good. Well, this ZV-1 will make sure your face is exposed properly, even if you're backlit, because it places that priority for exposure on your face. And because it can detect a whole face, it knows what it's doing. It's a pretty smart camera. It has a mic input, so you can put external mics in. I'm using the Rode Video Mic Go lav mic right now, though the built-in mic of the Sony sounds pretty good. It's a 3-capsule mic on top. Sony always has great in-camera mics, but you're still going to be able to get an improvement by using something like the Rode or a Video Micro, what have you. But even so, if you're in a pinch, don't worry about using the built-in mics of the Sony. In fact, that's what I used in that little footage of my son in his van.
So 1996, even though it looks like an old 80s van.
I'm shooting right now in standard color mode, even though I can shoot in S-Log. I just wanted to see if I can get away with something looking good, just shooting standard. So I'm not doing anything special here, but Sony created this camera for those of you who want to get started in vlogging, get started in YouTube. I think it's more of a YouTube camera than a vlogging camera, because on a tripod like this, it works amazing. Another thing I love about this camera is the product showcase feature. Basically, if you want to review on YouTube and show off a product while having rock solid focus, check this out. Boom, instant focus, and I'm blurred in the background, so the product showcase is showcasing the product you want to show your viewers. Like, for example, this slips into the shoe, so it securely fits and it's not going to fall off the camera. And as soon as you take it away, it snaps right back, catches my eye. It's quite amazing. Product showcase feature works really, really well. All right, so this is the Sony in my car. So this is with the standard stabilization. I don't have it active, it'd be too tight. But this is the field of view you get in a car here. So if I mounted this up here, I could be like, hey guys, I'm using the built-in mic of the Sony. It's keeping my face in perfect focus. It's exposing my face perfectly. So here's what the GoPro looks like, the GoPro 8 in the car, in linear mode. I'm not in a wide angle mode, I'm in linear, so you don't get that distortion. But what does this look like if I move it around the car? Is it still looking as good as the Sony? The GoPro is just one button push, it turns on, it starts recording. Very quick and easy, but as far as quality goes, this is going to suffer in low light, where the Sony is going to look really good in low light. So no matter what you want to show off, it's going to instantly focus on the product. And that is invaluable when it comes to YouTube, because I don't know how many times I wanted to show something to the camera, to you, and the older cameras would not be able to focus on this. It would still be trying to reach my face. So this camera is actually jam-packed with some amazing features that are very, very usable. Again, plug in an external mic, no problem. Flip out LCD screen, I can see what I'm filming. Perfect, first time Sony's done that in a camera like this. We've been asking for it for years. I've been asking for it for years. Real-time continuous tracking via the eye autofocus, face detect autofocus, all automatic. There's nothing special you have to do. It just is automatic, right? So it just works. So with something like the GoPro, I'm gonna switch over to the GoPro, I can just turn it on and get really close, right? And be like, hey guys, I'm here at Saguaro Park and it's a lovely, beautiful day. I'm checking out the Sony ZV-1. So that's my GoPro in that situation. So if I take the Sony and do that same little shot right here, hey guys, I'm at Saguaro Park and I am taking a look at the Sony ZV-1. That's what I'm filming with right now. This is a video-centric camera, right? It's built for you to get started as easy and quickly as possible to start shooting content, creating content. So if you're a beginner, this is the camera you want to look at. If you're experienced, this is a camera you want to look at, because you can also go full manual and dial in your exposure, your compensation, your ISO, your shutter speed, what have you. You can control all that manually if you like. With the improved color science that Sony implemented here, and they keep getting better and better with that, with the speed of this camera, with the product showcase, all of those features, it makes it so worth it to jump into the ZV-1. Even with the two little things, the wide angle and the stabilization. I mean, they are issues, but you can overcome those issues, because believe it or not, and a lot of people think if they have this great, perfect camera, they will become artists, right? They will become the best content creator on earth. If only they had that perfect camera, but that's not true. There's people using imperfect cameras all the time, creating some amazing content that blows my mind. This camera here is highly capable. It's not a toy, and no, it's not waterproof like a GoPro or anything, but it's a serious video tool for those who want to take video further than they're currently taking it. I would use this in a heartbeat over my iPhone 11. I mean, you don't want to use a phone when you have something like this with all these cutting edge features. So I highly recommend the ZV-1. I didn't think I was going to say that. I'll use my GoPro in those situations when I'm in tight quarters, right? Or like I did at the Domes when I did my GoPro Max review. If you need something to be captured in its entirety, having those extreme wide field of views is really, really nice. But for everything else, this is going to be superior in quality, whether you're shooting at night, whether you're shooting in full blazing sun. That auto face exposure is awesome to have. So these features make this camera unique. There's nothing else like it out there, and it makes it well worth it if you want to become a content creator or up your game in content creation. Now I have many cameras here. I have a cinema camera from Canon C100 Mark II. I have Olympus cameras. I have bigger Sonys here. But you know what? For going out and shooting content, I am going to use this and my little GoPro in certain situations. We don't need those big cameras. We don't need an EOS R to vlog with. We don't need a 1DX to vlog with. People who do that are trying to sell you a 1DX to make a commission. This is what you need, and it's not perfect, but I think version 2, version 3, we will be getting there. And I'll be keeping my eye on this camera's progress, just like it's keeping an eye on my eye right now. So I love you all. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, thumbs up and subscribe. Check out the links below if you want more information on anything I talked about here. And I will see you next time. Bye.